Welcome back to Radio Taiwan International. You're listening to Geek Out. What's your cup of tea, tickles your fancy, or floats your boat? I can't today, apparently. Boat. Join us as we share passions from people in Taiwan and around the world. I'm your host, Michelle Chang, and I've obviously not had enough coffee. Today in the studio, we have my good friend, Emily Daniel.
Hello.
What are we geeking out about today?
Today, we are geeking out about Animal Crossing New Horizons.
Yes. Okay. I do have to give us a little bit of background on, well, we both will give us a little background on our video game history. I actually have not steadily played video games since maybe about middle school. I ended at about Final Fantasy VIII. That's how old I am. I'm sorry, I've aged myself. And that's just about it. I stopped playing. With your occasional, Switch games or something. And, Mario Party, because you can't avoid that, going to people's places to hang out. And only recently have I gotten the Nintendo Switch. And with that, Animal Crossing.
Yeah, so I am not at all a gamer. So growing up, the last console that I had before my Switch was a Nintendo DS.
Oh.
So, yeah. So
wow. Okay.
I played Wild World on Animal Crossing Wild World on the DS.
Yeah.
And then so that was my first introduction to the franchise as a whole. But then other than that, the only games I've really played are when my sister was like, I need a player too, puts a controller in my hand and makes me play it. So I've played Mass Effect and Final Fantasy X-2.
Yeah.
Because she put the controller in my hand and
yeah,
said,
they needed a second.
Do it. So, yeah. But Animal Crossing is one of them that I actually have gone to myself, that I've gravitated towards. Because I don't like it when games are too fighty, too much.
Right.
Yeah.
It's too much. It's too much that you have to, there's a lot of hand-eye, reaction coordination
that
you need.
I
don't have it either. So thank you so much for coming on to talk about this.
Yes.
But yeah, I did not know that the Animal Crossing franchise was that old.
Yeah, so the first one came out on, I believe, the GameCube.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Okay.
Back.
That's 2000 something?
Early 2000s.
Early 2000,
yes.
yeah.
And then Wild World was the next one. And then there have been a few. There was City Folk on the Wii.
Oh, wow.
New Leaf on the 3DS that some of my siblings had. So I did kind of play it a little bit, but it wasn't my island.
Yeah.
And then probably something since then, and then Animal Crossing Pocket Camp, which was the mobile game.
What?
Yeah.
How do I not know about this?
Well, you know now.
I know now. I'm going to download it.
Yeah. It came out 2016-ish, give or take. That's what actually led me to getting Animal Crossing New Horizons, was last summer, actually, just kind of was like, I'm going to open Pocket Camp. I play it. I'm like, this is fine. And I'm like, wait, hold on. I have a Switch. And so I impulse bought New Horizons and then have been playing it since.
So for listeners who don't actually know what Animal Crossing is, despite it being around for such a long time, what is New Horizons about?
So at its core, Animal Crossing New Horizons is a deserted island that you go to, and you essentially have to build it up. So you have to create places for a tailor shop, a museum, a shopping center.
Right.
And then you also have to clean up weeds, set flowers, set up a lot of decorations, and build houses for the villagers, who are the animals, to move into.
I just said this while we were walking into the studio, but I was so disappointed that I could not be an animal.
Oh, me too. I remember, again, way back in Wild World when I saw it, and I was like, I want to be an animal.
Right.
And I was sad.
It's so sad. It's called Animal Crossing. Why can I not be an animal?
I know. Why must I be the only human?
Right. At least they give you a lot of options as far as, choosing appearances for your character.
Yes.
And there's... you go to the tailor's shop and there's so many clothes, so many options for dressing yourself, lots of costumes, cute stuff.
That's one of my favorite things, actually. I love it when the tailor shop, they have a sister who will come and visit your island.
Yep.
So I love it when she comes, because it's like an excuse for me to change my look and then have a new outfit.
They do, every time somebody comes to visit, they have some kind of challenge. So the tailor sister who comes to visit will issue a clothing or dress costume challenge of some sort, and you're supposed to go through your wardrobe and figure out the best thing that fits. But it's super cute. The fishing dude,
CJ.
Thank you. CJ is the fishing dude. Flick is the bug dude. And there's like a star watching owl.
Celeste.
Thank you. I'm really great with names. I'm sure you can tell.
I got you.
But yeah, each of these people will issue like a challenge for you to do, and then it makes the game even more fun. But yeah, do you do a lot of farming?
No. I mean, so I have a farm. I have crops that I water and I will like sell every day, but I never really got too into it.
In any game where you're kind of building up a island world, there's many activities we can engage in. This actually reminds me of, what is it called?
Stardew Valley.
Not Stardew Valley, the precursor. It was actually on the GameCube. Something Moon? Harvest Moon. Harvest Moon, where you kind of you go fishing and then you can plant crops and harvest crops and then you can cook with the stuff. But it's these kinds of, I feel like they're very peaceful games.
Yes. They're relaxing.
Yeah, they're very relaxing.
There's, I guess, for better or for worse, there is no like win condition, right? It's the goal is just to go relax, have fun, do what you want.
Yeah.
And obviously you can complete like your bug
bug challenge.
Yeah, find all of the bugs, catch all of the fish, catch all the sea creatures. But you don't have to if you don't want to, and you can just kind of go at your own pace too.
Yeah, there's no time constraint on anything, and you kind of just hang out in this place that you are building to your liking, and it's really low stress.
Yeah, and like talk to your villagers. That's another fun thing is the people who move in too.
You kind of sort of get to choose who moves into your island, and if you really don't like somebody, you can. There are ways that you can ignore them, or you can perhaps resort to violence.
You mean hitting them with a bug net?
But yeah, you can get rid of them if you want, but you can design your island to your liking, which is my favorite thing. Right? Interior design and stuff.
Yeah. Well, I like designing my house, but designing the island itself is a little bit less. That's not what draws me. I like the houses though. I like designing the house.
Oh, it's super cute.
Yeah.
I mean, the more adrenaline some games are designed to stimulate in people, the less I want to play them, because my daily life has it's not like I'm a soldier or anything, but there's a lot of stuff going on every day, and I drink my coffee to get through it, and I tackle all these challenges. I want to go home and relax. That's more or less how it goes.
Yeah, that's how I feel, is that I want my video games, I want my, my free time to be relaxing. I don't want to, go and fight the next dude and figure out how to beat this boss, right? Like I said, the only video games I ever played were because my sister would put a controller in my hand.
Would drag you into it, yeah totally.
Play.
I watch my husband play first-person shooter games, and they're terrifying. Okay, once we were ordering Uber something, and it arrived unexpectedly early, so he throws the controller at me and just yells, "Keep me alive," and then runs out the door.
Oh no, that would be so stressful. My sister did that to me too.
Right?
Growing up, sometimes she would have something. She's like, "I need to do this, Emily. Fight this, dude." And I'm like,
I don't want to do this.
I don't know what I'm doing. I'm gonna button mash because that's all I know.
Right? Oh, I found a tree to hide behind that I was hiding. I was hiding behind a tree for 3 minutes. Scariest 3 minutes of my life.
Well, sometimes like what she would do, it would be like a one-on-one battle, and she would say, "Do it, beat this guy," and I'm like,
"Do it."
No,
I don't want to.
And I'm like, "Can we pause?" She's like, "No, you can't pause it. You need to beat this guy." I'm like,
okay. Right. It's so stressful. Why do people do this?
To each their own.
That's true.
To each their own.
It is, yes, to each their own. Perhaps some people lack daily job excitement. You work with children. There's plenty of excitement.
Oh, yeah. My sister works with children too, though.
What? And then she
works with high schoolers. But still.
That's a very different kind of excitement.
Yeah.
But still, you go home and do you want more excitement? Not me, anyway. But right, let's talk about any particular moments in the island setup process that probably is your favorite.
So I really like the museum. For me, that's my favorite thing is getting stuff for the museum, donating to the museum. I knew going in, right, that the museum existed and that I needed to save all of these bugs and fish that I caught for it.
Yeah, it's kind of like being a naturalist.
Yeah,
right. Yeah. If we are actually scientists and we have to go out and collect specimens. So yeah, same. I love doing mostly the fish part.
Me too. That's my favorite.
Right. I'm not really a bug person, but at least in the game they make them cute.
Yes. Yeah. Yeah. My favorite. But I also like the kind of gotcha aspect of the fish too, where you don't know which fish you're catching, whereas bugs you can see, you know. But yeah, I prefer the fish, and I accidentally recently yesterday completed my fish. Pokédex is what's coming to my brain.
Right, it's a Pokédex. It's a catalog.
Sure, collection. Yeah,
Let's just go with that.
yeah. Finished my fish one, so I'm very
Nice,
excited.
congratulations.
Yeah. As far as like the island completion or island setup, I had so many fish and bugs just in my house, my tiny house, because you start small.
Yep.
Right. Your house starts one room.
One room,
Actually starts
yes.
as a tent, and then you can slowly build it out.
Yep.
But the museum also expands as you are growing, right? You have
Yep.
to continually give it more things. So as I'm trying to grow my house and the museum, I had so many fish and bugs in my apartment or in my house
Yeah.
as I'm trying to save them so I can be like, okay, all right, the museum is closed today, you know, because it's closed for repairs. It'll be open tomorrow. But
Yeah.
I just caught 4 new fish.
Yes, I gotta put them in. And what's funny is when you set them down in your house, they become an aquarium shows
Yeah.
up, right? Containing the said
Except-
fish.
Except the turtles.
Oh, that's true. The turtle's just there.
Yeah, they just go, oh, they walk slow enough. It doesn't matter.
I guess that was what the developers were thinking. But the snapping turtle, I would say
Very.
that's very that's pretty scary. You don't just want a snapping turtle just in your house.
At least this is a peaceful game, and the snapping turtles don't snap.
Nothing really bad happens to you ever. So they do even have, as far as the insects go, stuff like mosquitoes and cockroaches.
Well, yes, actually. So I've noticed, I've never had this happen in New Horizons, where sometimes you can be fishing and there's a mosquito nearby you. So in Wild World,
Okay.
if you were fishing,
Okay.
sometimes a mosquito would bite you and it would automatically pull your sinker up. So then you might lose the fish that you're catching.
Interesting.
Yeah, but now New Horizons, they've changed it so you can catch the fish and immediately get bit. But it doesn't make you lose the fish, which I like because, there's nothing worse than like, oh, look, there's a shark. I see a fin. And then you
And then
lose
bam,
it.
it's gone.
Yep.
Yeah. But there isn't much more realistic than getting bit by mosquitoes while fishing.
I know. I know.
And it is extremely annoying.
Yes.
It could actually cause you to lose fish.
In real life, yeah. But I like it now.
Yeah. Wait, can I? I actually haven't tried to catch a cockroach.
In New Horizons?
Yeah.
You can't.
You can't catch one.
No, because you can't hold the bug net inside. Yeah.
That's true.
Yeah, cockroaches are not catchable.
But you can
Step on them.
catch a mosquito.
Yeah, because they're outside.
Right. And then you can turn it into the museum,
Yeah.
although I don't really understand why a museum would want mosquitoes.
Research? Nebulous
Maybe?
research?
Nebulous research, love it. Okay, so the museum, by the by, the museum also has a cafe.
Yes.
You can invite someone to come open a cafe in your museum, and it's adorable.
Mm-hmm.
You can drink coffee.
200 bells a cup.
That's in the cafe and the museum in Animal Crossing, whilst drinking real coffee if you want. What I wanted to ask is the art section is something that I've been kind of, I don't know what I'm doing with. So how am I supposed to do
Have you talked to Red?
the fox?
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah. So he has the boat that is on the North Shore. So you have to put on a wetsuit to actually go and swim to get onto his ship, because Red, now he usually has 4 art pieces on his ship at once.
Okay.
But 3 are fake and 1 is real. Yeah. So you have to.
I have been on his ship to look at his art.
Yes.
But I haven't bought any because it's all very expensive.
Yes, so
Okay.
you have to accept that everything's expensive, and that even the other items he has are also marked up. And so you have to buy that art so that you can put it into the museum.
Okay.
But I don't know what most of the art should look like. So you can find plenty of stuff online that tells you this one is fake. So they have like a fake Rosetta Stone, right?
Oh.
And so the real one is gray and the fake one is blue.
But I would not know that. Oh, okay. So it may involve some amount of cheating.
Yeah, yes. I have to look it up for
Right.
for the art because I don't trust myself.
Yeah. The one
recognize
time
the
I was
art.
on his boat, I saw there was the girl with the pearl earring
Yes.
painting, which I obviously recognized it, but there were a number of other art pieces I did not know.
Yes.
So, and I didn't buy anything because it's very expensive, and he looks kind of sly being a
Yeah.
fox.
Well, he is. That's the point. Is that he is a little bit sly, right? And like I said, he usually has. Sometimes there will be 2 real and 2 fake, but usually it's 3 fake and 1 real. So you have to find the 1 real of the day.
So if you get the real one, then you turn it into the museum.
Yes.
Okay. But then you spent like 4,000 bells and then you give it to the museum.
Yep.
Okay, I see how it goes.
Yeah. I mean, it's the same as if you catch, say, like a shark. You can go and sell it to the shop, and that's like, 10,
a lot of money.
12,000 bells, right? But you give it to the museum, and you just don't make that money. So it's the same thing.
Yeah, I guess so. I do very much enjoy the aquarium section of the museum, though. It's actually really nice to walk through because it actually does look like a well-planned aquarium.
Yeah, it's like they actually took a real aquarium and like layout, and we're like,
Right.
wow, let's do this.
Genius, whoever developed this game. Anything we dislike about this game?
Flowers.
Okay, so let's explain why flowers are kind of annoying in the game.
Yeah.
I've never been a huge liker of flowers in real life.
Oh, me too. Me too.
So in the game, there's very common flowers
Yes.
in very common colors.
Well, and also the common flowers on your island may be different from the common flowers on somebody else's
Oh,
island
that's true,
too.
that's true. Yep.
It's based on when you start your game too.
And if you plant them in proximity to each other, or sometimes not even, there could be an interesting color that comes up.
Yeah, they call it like breeding the flowers.
Right. And those sell for more money? Is that how it goes?
No, it's just, I think they give you a little bit of a boost for the town rating,
Oh,
but they don't
interesting.
actually, I don't think they sell for more money.
Huh. I don't really care about the flowers.
Yeah, I know, me too. I don't.
But yes, there are supposed flowers that are very hard to breed.
Like the path to get a black rose is so hard, where it's like you have to breed like a red and a orange,
Blue or
no,
something?
a red and a white together to get an orange, and then like a red and a blue together, and then you put those. I don't remember. Wait, no, hold on.
We have phones?
I saved a flower chart on my phone. Give me a second.
But yes, sometimes playing these kinds of video games involve a certain amount of internet cheating.
Yeah.
And there's actually a huge community of people who play this game. So on the internet, we share our findings and discoveries. And it's actually pretty, if you are really stuck with something to do or you don't know how to do something, obviously consult the internet, which is what Emily is doing right now.
That's not right. No, this one is saying just put two reds right next to each other and it will get a black, and that's not right.
That doesn't happen.
No, it's not right. That's not right. Actually, no. Black roses are easier, okay? It's the blue rose and a purple rose that can
Oh,
be.
I have a purple rose.
Yeah. Okay. So, yeah, black rose are fairly easy, according to the internet. This doesn't seem right, but it's just two reds together and it makes a black. But for a blue rose, you have to do a red and a white together to get a pink.
Okay.
And then you put that pink with a yellow to make a red. And then you need two of those. And then you put those two reds together to make a blue rose.
What?
Yeah.
This makes no sense.
So it's like multiple levels of breeding. So you can't just take two roses from the seeds and put them together and get black. You have to breed them together. Again, you have to go two reds to a pink, or a red and a white to a pink.
So I'm pretty sure horticulturalists will have huge issue with this.
I actually, from some internet cheating and reading, they actually made it a little bit more correct, like via Punnett squares in New Horizons, as opposed to
Interesting.
previous games. Yeah.
Huh.
So yeah, there's some level of Punnett squares
Okay.
that goes into this. I don't know how actually truly correct it is.
Of course. But I like the fact that, for example, you're like us. We don't like messing around with flowers. You don't have to.
Yeah, exactly.
It's not a feature of the game that you have to accomplish or get done in order to progress or something like that. I personally don't like sometimes the animals that show up on the island.
Oh, yeah. Some of them.
Yeah, some of them are really annoying.
Yeah, there are some that I have ignored until they move out.
Please move out.
Yeah.
Please move out. But yes, it's. I think there's not much to hate about the game.
Yeah.
Yeah, and even then, I don't hate them. They're
Yeah.
annoying, but yeah.
Yeah, that's the thing. At worst, they're annoying. But then you just
Ignore them.
ignore them, and then they want to move away, and
Exactly.
then it's fine.
Exactly.
And then hopefully someone else can love and appreciate them more than you do.
But yeah, all in all, I think it's a game that's really well designed for just finding peace and relaxation and stress relief after maybe you've had a really long day. So,
Yes.
anything you'd like to say to anyone who wants to try this game?
Just go at your own pace, right? Don't feel like you need to do everything, right? It's very fun to do and it's very relaxing, but if you get to a point where you're kind of you feel like you're almost obsessing over, oh, gotta get this flower, or I gotta get this, like
Fish
make
or-
this person
yeah.
happy, get this fish, then I don't know, just take a step back. It's supposed to be fun.
Yeah.
It's supposed to be relaxing.
Absolutely.
Or some people like, oh, I want to get a 5-star island and I need to like make it super beautiful and have like go to a certain theme or whatever. And that's fine if that's what you want to do, but also don't feel bad about yourself if your island doesn't do that, if you haven't,
Quickly, you don't have to go fast. It's definitely do it at your own pace. It's there are no consequences, nothing really bad happens, so it's great. Thank you so much for geeking out with me, Emily.
You're welcome. Thanks for having me.
Yay. And thanks, listeners, for tuning into Radio Taiwan International. I'm Michelle Chang, and we'll be back next Thursday with another episode of Geek Out.